Science. I'm Simon.
And I'm Jeff.
Jeff.
Simon.
You're a big fan of Fatboy Slim, right? That's your favorite. It's your favorite artist.
Yeah. I have some pretty great tunes, I hear.
yeah. Well, why don't you just go and name some of your favorite Fatboy Slim songs?
You know them. Just the whole lot. That last album they dropped, pretty great.
Just that whole last album, real good.
Yep.
Well, there is a line from a Fatboy Slim song. The Fatboy Slim song is called Weapon of Choice. The music video to it is just Christopher Walken dancing around a mall. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's transcendent. But there's a line from it, where he goes, "Walk without rhythm and you won't attract the worm." So
that's like a real deep cut.
Isn't it? Like, for years I heard that line and I was like, it's a really weird line to have in this song. Turns out it's a Dune. It's a Dune reference.
Yep.
Oh, it's crazy. So that's what we're talking about this week. This 2 weeks. This bi-week. Fortnite? I keep on forgetting it's a Fortnite.
That's why we do it every 2 weeks, to catch that Fortnite SEO.
Oh yeah. All of our episodes are underneath the Fortnite Fortnite Reddit. That's what we do. That's where we post most of them.
Right.
If you're having difficulty finding them, if you did find them, it's because you also are a member of the Fortnite Reddit and you found it there. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Or we know you and took your phone.
Or we know you, yeah. Or you're a sibling of mine. Yeah. So we're talking about Dune. Jeff, do you wanna describe what Dune is? You want me to describe?
It's a book.
It's a book. Okay.
Yeah. In the book, the entire galaxy's economy and commerce is based on spice, which can only be found on one planet.
Yep.
And that's it. There's big worms.
There's big old worms. I mean...
And some very angry people.
I feel like you're skipping over the whole, then there's also, a hero who's the chosen one, who, becomes a part of the planet and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not interested in the hero's journey. I want to get into the minutia of the economy.
Of how spice became such a dominant force in this. Actually, they explain it, don't they? Because it's highly addictive and a bunch of wealthy people get addicted to it.
Yeah, it's highly addictive and it's what they use to power their spaceships for long distance travel.
Oh, that's right. I wonder if it's such a weird thing to come up with. This is something that's a drug, but also can be used for propulsion. It's very useful.
It's normal stuff.
It's normal, yeah. Normal, everyday. I power my car with heroin. So.
Right.
God, okay, so here's something, listener, that you should know about us researching this. We've just researched this, now. But I have a page up, and I'm learning slowly that you should never read further than 2 or 3 paragraphs down, because it gets really weird, and it's stuff that makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, no, it's very strange. I'm just gonna scroll up on this Wikipedia page so I don't
back into the sane parts of the page.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty good synopsis of Dune. It's a giant desert planet, and there's big old worms on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get started. Let's talk about those worms. Or do we want to talk about spice? Because
I think they kind of tie into each other, don't they?
I think they
don't. The worms make the spice?
I thought the worms were the spice.
Well, the worms are the worms.
I thought maybe the worms.
But isn't the spice the worm poop?
Listen, guys. Poop is funny. It will always be funny. I think it is. I think you're right. I think spice is worm poop. So I guess we do have to kind of talk about both of those. Okay. So do you want to start? Which direction do you want to start with? Do you want to start with what's the excrement and move from towards the thing that makes it, or start with the thing that makes it and go towards the excrement?
I mean, that's up to you. I'm just doing a quick fact check to see how close we are before we get really too far into it.
Like how close we are in terms of our space?
That spice is worm
We're a
poop.
good like 800
Because that would
miles
be
away.
kind of like really fundamental and would really skew the interpretation if we were wrong with that.
But isn't that like the thing that what's his name comes up with? Paul? You know, Paul?
Paul, your buddy Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
That doofus who is a prince that also leads all the indigenous people in the
Hey man, I think that guy's
on Arrakis.
he's your coworker. I don't think you should really be calling him a doofus. I think that's a little mean. We're kidding, Paul. It's just
Oh, are we not talking about Paul Atreides still?
I don't know, maybe.
So yeah, pre-spice mass is the stage of something fugisoid wild growth achieved when water is flooded into the excretions of little makers. Little makers are sandworms. So yes, it's worm poop.
Yeah, when worms died, sand trout would be
We were
released
right.
into the sand, and the cycle of creation would repeat. Yeah. Oh God.
Nailed it.
Right there.
How deep we get this time?
8
Not
minutes.
8 minutes.
I'm getting my profanity is getting slowly worse with age in grad school. Anyway, okay. Well, I think that we could just say that the sandworms are just really big worms. Like, is there anything about worms that would keep them from being that big?
I mean, probably they would get that big otherwise, right? No, I think that's probably okay that they're just big worms. I mean, like we have whales and stuff, and they're pretty big.
But like, sandworms are bigger than whales, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So maybe that's like the thing, like just in terms of like how long are sandworms? I guess is the
How
question.
long are sandworms?
I'm surprised I didn't look this up before.
Yeah, right?
Because what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking like it like the speed at which sandworms move, and
Grow hundreds of meters in length, with specimens observed over 400 meters.
okay, so that's not like it's long. I was thinking like kilometers, but this is still like normal sized, or yeah, so like whale size. These are whale sized worms, and it probably just needs like probably like some kind of structure to it. So maybe it has like don't they have like exoskeletons?
Yes, because the Fremen use that to climb onto their backs.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So that they have support, they just got a bunch of gooey insides. And do we think that they're maybe just that big because of like water retention? So like it's to decrease the amount of volume to surface ratio?
I mean, that would... What? You started saying except, so I want to let you finish that before I jump in.
No, I wasn't gonna shoot. I'm good. I come up with good ideas that don't have any issues with them.
Right. I mean, we can go with that, and like, you know, they might just be a creature that doesn't necessarily have an upper bound beyond what they can't, like, physically hold up, I guess.
Or like,
it's not like there's anything hunting them.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, yeah, I completely agree. So it's like at a certain point in size, they're just too massive to keep going. Like it's just they're like whatever pumps energy through their body just cannot keep up, and they just die. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. So then what do we think spice is? Or because it has to keep in mind, it has to be both a propellant in space and I believe the word that is used by this fan wiki is an awareness spectrum narcotic.
All right. Can you unpack what an awareness spectrum narcotic is?
Boy, can I. It's a narcotic substance that has the ability to expand an individual's consciousness on some level. This expansion can manifest itself in many ways, including prescience or other memory, and simply an increase in immediate awareness and sensory ability. Uh,
Okay, so it makes you pay attention more to your
it's
surroundings.
Adderall, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing,
Adderall that makes your eyes turn blue.
yeah, that part's weird.
Yep.
What I'm wondering is, so like the current thing we use for jet propulsion in space is oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is like super oxygen.
It's just like compressed real tight.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or like maybe it's like oxygen that's like locked into like a crystalline structure. Um,
Okay.
so that like you can get a lot more of it in a smaller space. So that the greater awareness, the greater like sensory ability is just the fact that your brain now has like all of this oxygen to feed it,
Okay.
and
We can work with that.
you can just like use oxygen as we do now as a jet propulsion material.
I mean, would that be able to make like a hyperspace faster than light travel?
Uh, well, no, Jeff, no, it couldn't.
Like, yeah, like that's the problem. They're not like powering space planes with it. They're powering big tubes that are hurled through space faster than light.
What if it's like a fourth dimensional thing? What if it's like that's how you move faster than light, is that you have to like dip into a higher dimension?
I think that might be pretty close to what the description is. Like, it's a folding of space, I think I saw.
Yeah, which is very similar to dipping into a higher dimension. Okay. So but then
we
how
have
does the spice
crystalline structure oxygen that I guess can make you fold space and reach into other dimensions.
So, but okay. What if I'm trying to think like how do you get like
I mean, maybe it's not like they're just refined differently, so it doesn't have to simultaneously be a drug and also space gas.
space gas? Okay. Well, because that's what I was thinking was like maybe the blue eye part of it is like that's the compound that's locking in that oxygen. So like maybe that compound, once it's deprived of the oxygen, has enough stored energy that it could power like a dimension breaking device. It just seems
Run
like
that past me. Like, I feel like I missed the first part of what you said by the time we got to the end.
oh, maybe. I took a really long time to say it because I was trying to. I was thinking of the words as I was talking about it. The issue I have is like I still just don't like you can't just like jump over to a different dimension. You gotta do something to pull yourself through a dimension, and that's really difficult to do.
Really energetically expensive.
It's really energetically expensive. So I'm wondering, like, what if it's like, this is kind of strange, but what if it's like oxygen that's bound to like an antioxygen, like antimatter, so that it, by ingesting it, I guess you would explode. So maybe not.
No, I'm thinking it might be something that just a way that it is easily metabolized gives it like like in the body gives it those drug like effects, and just the side effects of it, like it messes with your eyes.
Yeah.
But there's like just I don't know what the process would be, but there'd be a different process that, like, if you throw it into the ship reactor, it generates, an absurd amount of energy.
Yeah, like it's like almost like a radioactively uh, active element,
Right.
and that's why it
Right.
causes your eyes to glow.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it's like giving off, it's decaying in your body,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it just has. Okay, I like that. I like the idea that it's essentially just like a compound that is used to stabilize oxygen, while also being like highly radioactive and used for, and possible to be used in like some kind of nuclear breeder or reactor, like a
Mm-hmm.
higher like whatever 118, 120 uh, element or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then why do bugs, what are they called, worms? Why do worms have them then? Do we just think that this is like
What?
how do the worms use it? Like, why do the worms poop this out?
It is like the little makers are like sand plankton basically, and when whatever they give off is exposed to, all the water and inside parts of a sandworm, that becomes the spice melange, and that spice melange is the
Okay, I see what
the
you're
thing
saying.
that does it.
Yeah. So this is like, okay, but do we think that the worms are using this compound in any way? Because I mean, it would make sense if it was so energy dense, then maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
used in supporting this enormous life form
Um, I mean, I guess it might. Like, I think it's just largely a cast off of, like, they just eat
of
the
eating
sand plankton.
the sand plankton
Yeah.
of the little makers. Okay, I got you. That's like their diet is little sand plankton.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, I mean that works. It works completely fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how about those force fields though? That was a
Right.
really
The force fields that do a good job blocking bullets and swords, but a bad job blocking slow swords.
yeah. So this is I think it's a Holtzman shield in series. It's a shield that has like a cutoff. It has like a limiter on it. So if something is below a specific velocity, it won't activate. So like you can touch a person who has a shield, but you can't stab that person
Mm-hmm.
unless it's very slow.
Right.
So to me, it makes sense that this is like a bubble. Well, actually, this is what makes sense to me. So say when someone accelerates, what they're doing is they're bending space time, right?
Okay.
What if it seems like maybe the shield is like an opposite bending of space time? So if there's enough of a thank you, if there's enough of a acceleration, it'll like rebound
Mm-hmm.
off. But if the acceleration stays below a certain limit, it won't.
Okay, so like something that reacts with that kinetic energy and like redirects it.
Yeah,
So if
kind of.
there's enough of that energy being input into the system, then it can like go, then it can work.
Yeah, and if it's not, then it kind of just, actually I like that better. It's almost like non-Newtonian fluids. Like
Mm-hmm.
once
Yeah.
it transfers enough energy and it becomes hard. And if there's not enough energy to break that threshold, it'll just pass through. That makes way more sense. I don't know what I was talking about. That was a weird offshoot. It was probably
Well, I
way more
mean,
complicated than it needed
it
to be.
it got us there, so that's the important part.
That is the important part. I like this. What do we think what is the force field of though? Like, because obviously it can't just be like you're not coated in like You know, these people.
Just real viscous goo.
Well, I was thinking like water and cornstarch, but yeah, real viscous goo, that too.
Yeah, I think. I don't remember if it was described as something you could see when it was turned on.
I mean, like, it doesn't block your vision of the person, does it?
I don't think so.
I know in the movie it's like a weird like distortion effect.
I don't know if that was just for the sake of the movie, so the viewer knows that there's a shield or not.
It's tough to say. It is tough to say.
Right.
I am gonna say that it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that it can't be seen.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know how they would necessarily be able to generate that. It
Yeah,
would just be like an electromagnetic field or something.
yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And maybe it's an electromagnetic field that is like. So what I'm thinking, seeing this is that it's like permanent magnets, okay, that are on you.
Okay.
And then when something that has a magnetic charge moves into that field, the permanent magnets get forced in a direction, and when they do that, they generate like a current, and that generates more of an more of a magnetic field, and it's kind of like a like a positive feedback loop of the speed at which something is coming at you and the force of the field that you're generating.
Yeah, I like that.
That would only work with metallic objects. So this is something I always have with force fields, is that like if it's magnetism, why not just shoot someone with a ceramic bullet?
Right. Or have a knife made out of a sandworm's tooth.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, if only those existed.
Well, I mean, if only.
Yeah. So, but like, this is, I don't know. I don't like.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I want to take something where it's like using the kinetic energy, less so like the magnetism of it. But I don't know how we could like redirect the kinetic energy without, physical intervention.
Yeah. So, do we think that they're just coated in like a goo, like just a translucent goo?
I think the problem with that is like
It's too good.
that you would need a lot of goo for it to really be effective.
Okay, but what if the goo is just really responsive?
Okay.
Like.
So it's just like is a light coating
Of goo.
that gets applied to you,
And then as soon as it
or
gets,
that like whatever the device is like maintains that goo.
yeah, it constantly is excreting goo. Everyone in the Dune universe is just a little bit wet. Just a little bit.
Well, I think most people wouldn't wear them, and that's precisely because everyone has to be a little bit like just coated in goo if you are using it.
I guess, yeah. But so are we cool with that? Are we cool with the goo theory?
I'll take the goo theory.
I'll take the goo theory too, because I think it explains. It's ridiculous, yes, but it explains way more than anything else.
Right.
However, here's the thing: how do these goo shields attract worms? Do we think that?
Do the goo shields attract worms?
Yeah, that's why you gotta walk without rhythm.
No, that's just the like pounding your feet and stuff.
Yeah,
does that.
It's
like they're attracted to the vibration in the sand.
Yeah, but it's also the Fremen don't use shields. Instead, they use those little pulse emitters, and those are little shield generators.
I don't think they have shield generators, do they?
They have ones that are specifically used to draw worms. Like, they don't generate
I
shields.
think those are just, like, sticks with a motor attached to them to pound on the ground.
Listen, man.
Because they're called thumpers.
They are called thumpers, but there's also, listen to this. It is noted in Children of Dune, 1976, that Fremen have developed a small shield generator known as a pseudo-shield to attract and man a worm.
Can we reject that as not being canon and just stick to the first book?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I was just
Okay.
gonna say maybe it's just the vibrations of the active shield. So maybe like the goo. Ooh, I like this idea. Maybe the goo is hard, okay? But like you're coated in it. Okay? But like there's a vibration, there's like a little thing on you that just vibrates the goo and keeps it like loose and limber so that you can like keep moving. Right? Right?
Okay.
And
right.
that's what's
I'll
attracting
take
the
it.
worm. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Slam dunk.
I feel like if they're creating a pseudo shield, then it doesn't have to fit with the current shield that exists. I'm not like I don't want to knock your description because I do like it and it is very silly. But I feel like we can stick with not constantly slightly vibrating goo that covers an entire body.
I'm telling you, I am like 90% sure it's the shields that they bring up that draw worms.
I mean, yeah, maybe later, but in the first book, they have big sticks with motors that pound on the ground
But
very hard.
That's why the Fremen don't use shields, because they'll get got by a worm.
I don't know. No, that's why they like walk out of lockstep. Like they don't have a march because that marching beat attracts the worm.
All right, I will.
That's why they're walking without rhythm.
I will
Simon.
send you pages of literature that all explain that it also the shields do attract worms. I'm just saying. I think I explained it.
I will take your pages of literature and review them tomorrow after work. In the meantime, I'm going to stick to, per the first book, the shields don't attract worms. And really hope that I'm not wrong.
I'm just, when we go to whatever, Jakar, or whatever it is, and you have a shield and I don't, guess who's going to get got by a worm?
I'm not going to have a shield. I know how to wear a still suit like Fremen, despite never wearing it. And I am Paul Atreides.
I know it naturally. Alright.
That's the one.
That's the one. Here's my question. So do we want to get into the mentats and the other memories and the voice?
I feel like those are lots of things. Which one do we want to start on? Do we want to start on mentats, the very smart people computers?
Yeah, let's start on the mentats.
Okay.
This is Jeff actively regretting every choice he's ever made that's led him to do a podcast with me.
Could you read all that in just the couple of sentences I said?
Oh yeah, well I read that in like the little tiff we just had that will become recorded and posted online for posterity for everyone to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
if that's the worst fight we ever get into, I think we had an excellent relationship.
I think we too. I think we're both very chill people. I think as a demonstration of how chill we are, we don't even we have this podcast and we even forget to do it every week.
That is true. Uh-huh.
For 2 years now, we have forgotten to do it every week.
Consistent. You folks have no idea.
Mentats. Okay. Mentats of Dune.
Right.
So they're just really smart. What were their powers? They're just really smart people.
Their powers is that they are very smart people, like on the level of, computer-driven artificial intelligence. And the reason they exist is because, I guess people are afraid that artificial intelligences will take over the universe for some reason. I don't know why
Again.
they would be afraid of that.
But I think we've been over this inside the podcast before. It feels like if you have an artificial intelligence and you're worried it's going to take over the universe, just don't make an artificial intelligence that will take over the universe. Like, literally as simple as that.
I don't think it's that simple, though, because it's not somewhat like someone is making the artificial intelligence. They just kind of, like, give it a goal, and it decides the rest from there.
Okay, so then why not just unplug it or kill it or blow it up? Like, I feel like people are more scared of artificial intelligence than they should be. What they should be is scared of me.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, the artificial intelligence will gain the trust of the people who made it, and then take over from there. Have you not played Universal Paperclips?
Guess I haven't played Universal. Do you want me to play Universal Paperclips? Do you want me to do that right now?
You should. It's pretty good. I mean, not right now.
It sounds like a Lucas Pope game.
I don't know who made it.
Me neither.
Anyway, Mentats. They're smart people.
They're smart people. But wait, isn't there something else that we found that's like in their powers that they're not just smart, but they also could do other things?
Nah, I think they're just smart. Like, they possess exceptional cognitive ability. They can know a lot of things and remember a lot of those things that they know. They can accurately assess people and situations by interpreting minor changes in body language and intonation, which I think just goes along with being, like, way too smart for their own good.
Yeah, they're just smarty pants. That's all they are. Oh, wait, that's right. They drink that stuff.
Oh, yeah, there is a drug
Sappho
that they
juice.
drink that makes them smarter.
Sappho juice. What do we think Sappho
Yeah.
juice is then? Like, is it just like...
I think it's an addictive drug extracted from the roots found on
You think?
ecas.
You're like... You're not thinking positive, but you're like almost there. Sorry, I interrupted you. It's harvested from
No,
plants.
you didn't interrupt me. I finished reading the wiki entry.
Okay, good. Okay, so do we think it's just like B12 or maybe like fish oil, something that's good for your brain?
It's just omega 3s.
Yeah, it's just fatty acids is all it is. It's all it takes to be super smart.
I mean, I can see, what if it's like just real good sugar? It gives your brain extra calories to work with,
I like it.
and you get addicted to it, and there you go.
I like this. I like that Dune, and it's like...
I mean, it's called juice, right?
It's called juice. And everyone who knows, juice, very sugary.
Exactly. The good
Exactly.
juice, at least.
The best juice is sugary, like soda or
That soda juice.
soda juice. Yeah, you know what they say. Soda's juice, and Bob's your uncle.
That classic turn of phrase.
Okay, so we got that. These are smarty pants who like to drink a lot of sugar. What about the other memory? Or I guess
Right.
Yeah.
No, continue. I keep cutting you off.
I was gonna say, do mentats have other memory?
No.
Okay.
I believe that's only a... What were they called? Bene Gesserit?
Oh yeah.
One of their deals.
Yeah, the women.
Yes.
Yes. And this is like so other memory is like genetic memory is how I remember it.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
But it's not passed from like mother to daughter. It's like passed through the ether.
Right, like from... I think it says from just the Reverend Mother. I don't know if that's like genetic inheritance, you inherit the title, or if that's...
I don't think it is because
like they all vote.
They all vote. It's like
Well, yeah, they vote on who their leader is, and then that leader gets other memory for all the other leaders. I mean, it says all of her female ancestors, and like they do have a breeding program, so it could definitely just be straight genetic memory, and they're just terribly inbred.
And they're just terribly inbred. So how do we think that this genetic memory is being passed on? Because obviously I don't have. I guess I'm a man.
No one has genetic memory.
Yeah, but I'm assuming my sisters don't have genetic memory of, like, say, my mom or my grandparents.
I think this is specific to just these, like, just this group also. So, like, normal people in universe wouldn't be able to do this.
What makes this group of people special?
Politics and money, probably.
So do we think that, like, maybe, so we think it's like there's nothing that's like they're not inhuman. They're humans.
Yeah, I think they're probably human. They're probably genetically modified and might be modified by the spice somehow.
Modified by the Spice. It's a good album name.
That's don't TM. I'm using that later.
So, but it seems like maybe it's like the process of birthing that passes those memories on, or do we think it's like
looks like it isn't that, because it does say when the Reverend Mother passes, their second takes on their ego and memory by touching foreheads together. So it's not really like a genetic memory thing. It's just you take on the brain of the person who came, well, mind, I suppose, of the person who came before you. Like right before they died.
So it's almost like a rewiring of your brain entirely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like it just kind of uploads it into a partition in your brain.
Gotcha. So that seems like that's like the direct connection. You need like an electrical.
They just got Bluetooth in their brains.
Yeah, they got. Well,
that's
they
all
don't.
It is.
They don't, because they can't do it wirelessly. They have to touch foreheads, right?
Yeah, gotta touch foreheads. So NFC got that near field communication in their heads.
There you go. They got NFC. And pretty much is what I was thinking. They just like connect their heads. They like a little electric charge gets passed, and maybe it like rewires part of their brain. I don't. Yeah.
You don't know how or why that would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them being like, tech modified, having like an implant that can do something like that.
That has an implant that can just interface with their memory so that they can access the memory in the implant. Yeah, I think that too. That makes sense to me. And maybe the reason why they only have one at a time is because it's like
very expensive and they can only make 2 implants. Or maybe those implants are from whenever AI controlled stuff, so they can't physically make any more of them.
Huh. Well, I was going to say it makes sense that you can only have one person who is writing. Like, one person has administrator access, and the other one doesn't.
Right.
But I guess, yours makes more sense. Let's go with yours.
Both of them work, I think, but...
Well, Jeff, I'm throwing you a bone here, man.
I know, and I'm trying to graciously accept it. You can, like, offer it a second time, and I'll graciously accept them.
What's the next one? Are we cool with that? I like this. I think that this is a good solution.
Yeah, I'll take that. I like it.
They got little USBs in their brains.
Right? Like we all do.
The voice.
It's another Bene Gesserit thing, where they are good at talking to people and are able to give subconscious commands to people that compel obedience that cannot be resisted. Man, that's a lot of power for a person to have, huh?
Yeah. This is a very weird
Yeah.
um, group of people. So do we think it's like it's probably like hypnosis, right?
I would think it would have to be something akin to it.
But I think the issue with the hypnosis is that you can't do things you wouldn't do as like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What if they like? Do we think it's something with their NFCs?
Well, I think this is like any of the Bene Gesserit can do this, not just the Reverend Mother.
I know.
So this, what?
I was gonna say I think, but I mean they all don't all the Bene Gesserits have like some kind of
Oh,
like
in my head it was just the Reverend Mother and whoever is the second command would get these.
ah, gotcha. So this is a different thing that controls other people.
Right. Yeah, because you just have to be able to hear their voice for them to do this.
Maybe they're just really nice and cool. Yeah, this is tough because I think this also works on the Fremen, doesn't it?
I think it probably would. I think it says only like uh like a disciplined mind would be able to reject it or something, or can detect that it's happening.
Hmm. So we think it's a hypnosis, but it's a more powerful hypnosis.
Mm-hmm. Like more powerful, subtle sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you don't need, the rest of the trappings that go along with the hypnosis.
Yeah, you just need the voice. So
Yeah, I don't know where to even begin with this.
I don't even know where to begin with this. I think this is just bad science. This is the one.
This one thing is just bad science. I mean, like, they're like a political religious group, so maybe we can just chalk it up to like their religion somehow.
So, well, that's an idea. What if it's like psychosomatic? So what if their hypnosis command isn't like a command, but it's more of like rewiring somebody's brain to convince them that the whatever the Bene Gesserit is is like their leader or that they should follow them. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I think the difficult part is how they're able to do that with just their voice.
Magic, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, this gets very into it's just a magic thing and not something remotely science-y.
I like the fact that we're doing hard science fiction again after 2 years, and we're just as bad as we were.
Hey, well, let's be fair. On this one, there's a lot of more silly things to work with.
Very true.
I think we did a pretty good job on a lot of them so far. This one's tough.
This one is tough.
This one's not even really a sciencey thing for us to approach, I don't think.
So, what about... I don't know. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, let's just say we got this. We'll backburner it. We'll put a pin in it. We will return to it.
We'll put a pin in it. We'll set it down. We'll walk away.
When we do our part 2 episode, we'll revisit the voice again, see if we've come up with any new ideas in the meantime.
My guess is no.
Well, I will not take a bet against that, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so what about... You want to do still suits?
Yeah, we can do still suits.
Or, I mean, I would give you a choice. Either we could do still suits, or we could do suspensors, just so that we can say the word suspensors.
I mean, do we have a suspensor quota that you want to hit?
No. I want us to fit the word suspensor inside the episode as much as possible.
Okay, yeah, we can revisit suspensors. But yeah, I think still suits probably would be more in line with the plot of the book.
Yeah,
rather
I
than
guess
the suspensors, which are just kind of floaty boys.
They don't play too big of a part in the book. much to I think everyone's disappointment.
Right.
Okay, still suits. So still suits are these suits that are supposed to collect your body water and recycle it through filtering, and then
All
but
right,
also
that
keep
sounds easy enough.
but then also
Did we
keep
do
you
it?
warm. So the issue is, and this is very true. Just removing the water from your skin doesn't cool you off. It has to go someplace that's not near you. So, yeah, if that makes sense, like this wouldn't cool you off. They would just roast alive because they live in a desert.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how it would do like the cooling part. The filtering and recycling water sounds easy enough.
yeah, and they kind of explain that away with like like the it's the movement of your body that like pushes the water through the membrane, and then it's kind of like a one-way membrane, which makes sense. I mean, it means that when you move, you have to move a lot harder. Like it's going to be more difficult to move, but it is something that you could potentially do. But
that would do not a whole lot for the cooling side.
not a whole lot for the cooling side. So, but hey, bah, 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 bah.
I mean, do we think there might just be like some sort of like life support system in it? Like there's also a little bit of air conditioning in there.
Like just like a little fan.
Yeah, and it like you power it like what am I thinking of? Electromagnets again, like with the wireless or batteryless flashlights.
So here's the issue with that. You need some place for that heat to go. Like heat doesn't
out.
But that means that you would have to be okay.
It's just a little heat pump.
I guess
you
this
power
works.
it by moving around. It spits out cool air inside the suit and the hot air outside the suit.
Okay. So it's just like a big old Freon pump. Or like it probably just has like a little bit of it, and then it just like uses the water that exists in the water in the suit to like conduct the coolness around.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that part, but that makes a lot more sense than just
Fans.
a weird AC unit blowing air at like the small of your back.
My favorite part is what this means is that in all of the dialogue in this book, it's just like a background noise. It's just like
right.
all the time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I mean, we could do las guns, but they're just lasers, so we have that. Congratulations.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
I think. Are we good?
I think
you happy
we're good.
with that?
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I am super duper dandy boy happy.
Good.
Maybe just super duper boy. Good.
Not dandy though.
Not dandy though. Yeah, we're not.
All because we missed the voice.
Yeah, that was it. It really let me down. I think we let down our listeners. I think we let down the scientific community at large. All of humanity. Our parents.
Well, and ones. That's why we're gonna do that sequel episode one day.
One day.
Where we revisit it. Full 1 hour episode just for the voice. And it's going to be very quiet. And it's going to be us just like making mouth noises into our mics.
But maybe we can expand it. Maybe we could do like the voice the show as well as
good. Yeah, it's good. Just on the listener for misinterpreting the title of the episode.
Exactly.
That's it. We got it.
Yeah.
Almost a dandy boy. Not quite. Goodbye. What do we got? We have websites. We're on the internet.
Yeah, we got
find us at pedantichandwavium.com or pedantichw.com. We're on the Twitter. Did you walk away from your mic, bud?
I did it. I think I turned it down somehow, and I don't know how to turn it back up.
All right. Well, you figure that out for the tail end of the outro. I'll handle the rest of it from here. In the meantime, we're on.
There we go.
Twitter.
Oh, that's.
Wow, you are blowing out the mic, bud. We'll just let you dial that in.
It's too loud.
Where were we? Twitter. That's where we were, at Handwavium. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on whatever podcatching app you happen to own.
Yep.
You brought your volumes down too low.
Is that work?
We would like to thank Joe Sopchak for the theme music. It's pretty great. Mm-hmm. I think that's about it. Do we have Simon back yet at reasonable levels?
Yeah, I think we do.
Kinda. We're close-ish.
Listen. There's 2 dots, and if I go right 1 dot, it is too loud. If I go left 1 dot, it is not loud enough. So
good. This is ideal. This is how computers work. This is why we need mentats in the Dune future.
We gotta get
because
rid
we can't trust the computers to do it right.
Nope, they don't ever do it right.
There we go. I think you got it.
Yeah, I think I have so many volume controls. I had to. Yeah. I don't know why it just suddenly decided to make me very quiet.
Well, good. Now that you've been returned to us, do you have anything else you want to add to the outro? Any upcoming exciting projects you're working on?
Any upsiding? No, I don't.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Well,
you had the same answer last time.
Well, I wish I did.
We expect it by now.
I wish I did, but I am in grad school, and I do have literally 0 time.
Right.
So, that's fun.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to your project when it finally shapes up.
Yeah, when I know what I'm doing for my project.
Yep, that's the one. So yeah, I think that's it. Have a good night, everybody. We enjoyed having you.
Yep.
We will talk to you in another couple of weeks. Good night again, and we love you.
It's a fortnight, dude. You gotta get that SEO.